Hello, welcome to There's a Place, the ASMR talk show, the show that feels good to hear. I am your host, Adam Papagan. Just share a quick anecdote. I'm a big music fan. If you've watched the show, I'm always, going to see live music and thinking about music and which artist is better than the other or whatever. So over the weekend, ended up at this bar, the Arts District, which if you've been living in Los Angeles, whatever, if you know, it's kind of a misnomer because there's no artists there. It's just like a bunch of kind of crowded bars. Not my scene, not an area I frequent, so I was a little out of my element. But at this bar, it just so happened to be a combination Michael Jackson and Prince tribute night with both types of impersonators. It never really occurred to me, but Prince and Michael Jackson are pretty similar, and they died kind of close to each other, and they're both eccentric, and music is similar, so people are always going to start associating them now, forever. And I think Michael Jackson is better, I think his music is better, and also the impersonators, a lot more variety, because you have young Michael Jackson, you have Thriller Michael Jackson, you have when he had the real bleached skin and the straight hair. It was cool. And Prince, you really just have a purple outfit. But Prince is going to go down, this is my prediction, Prince is going to go down in history as a more important artist because he's got Paisley Park is out in the middle of nowhere. They can open it up and make it a theme park. Neverland, it's in some ritzy neighborhood. The neighbors would never allow it. So, again, that would be a more fun place to go. But Prince, because from where he built his estate, this famous recording studio, he was already planning out for the future. This could be a theme park, so he had more control over his image. So I guess he was the real king of pop. Sorry, Michael. All right, my guest tonight is a stand-up comedian as well as a regular here on Drone Box. He's always popping up in different sketches and shows and commentaries. Pretty much it seems like anytime they call him, he's here. But please welcome tonight my guest, Eddie Whitehead Jr. Yeah. Hey, Eddie, how you doing? Yeah. Oh yeah, happy Thanksgiving. Do you have plans?
I'm going to be at the Laugh Factory. I'm going to...
they do the Thanksgiving meal for comedians.
4 meals, 350 people each.
Have you done that before?
Yes, I've done it for the last 4 years, 5 years. It's a very fun time. I
did it at the House of Blues. They had a similar thing. It's kind of a cool place to spend Thanksgiving.
Yeah, but you know what? The people from the House of Blues usually come down because you have the gospel.
Yeah.
And they have better food at the House
They
of Blues.
did, yeah.
But afterwards they come to Laugh Factory. And so they tell me what happened that I missed.
There's kind of a circuit you can do. But the communal Thanksgiving dinner, the free, the buffet, it's one of the best ways to do Thanksgiving.
Yes, well, the best part about that is that you get to sit with people that are strangers.
Uh-huh.
And then you get to meet them and, like you said, commune. There's not too many atmospheres we have that in anymore, where you can sit down and break bread.
Exactly. You're not trapped in some awkward family situation where you're having to make, it can be all very light, superficial conversation.
Yeah, and
it's nice.
But it's that wait too, because there's a line to get to the event, and that's what I do. I make that wait entertaining. I play my harmonica. I tell jokes.
So yeah, I wanted to ask you about. I saw a video of you playing harmonica. Harp.
Yes.
So how long have you been playing harmonica for?
I didn't have a harmonica in my pocket since I was like 18, but I seriously started playing about 8 years ago.
How often do you find an occasion to bust it out?
Every day.
Every day?
I practice every day because it feeds me. Sometimes I travel the country busking. You know what busking
street
is?
entertaining, yeah.
Yes, and I meet a wide variety of people, and in Tucson they love me. I'm a celebrity in Tucson.
Tucson is a cool little kind of bohemian town out in the middle of the desert.
Yes, well they have a university there.
Yeah.
And it's University of Arizona State, and they are a big town, but in the same sense they have the energy of the aged old hippies.
Yeah, it's like a hippie kind of place.
Yes.
It's like Olympia, Washington, or Louisville, Kentucky, kind of Austin, Texas, out in the desert.
Yeah, the best time I had there was they have this, I don't know how many weeks it is, but it's called the Gym Show.
Gym show.
Gyms as
yeah.
Yes, and it's amazing the different variety of minerals. They have this. I mean, I went through there, and they have it all over town. It's free. If you want to go, it's at I think it's the middle of February.
Are you a rock hound?
Nah.
You know that term, though.
Yes,
right?
I do.
That's people who are into gyms and stones.
Yes, but when I got there, after about a month, a man walked up to me with this rock. It was the shape of an egg, and to hold it in your hand, it was brown. If you held it up to the light, you can see through it, and it was blue crystal. But if you hold it up to the sun, it radiated. And I thought it was, pretty entertaining. I'd never seen anything like it.
But you didn't like buy it, keep it with you? Or...
No, I gave it to my son, and he says, "What's this?"
See, he's not a rock hound either.
No.
Okay. That's
you know rock hounds?
No, I any kind of weird like hippie thing, I'll kind of entertain it, be like, oh, maybe that's true. But the rocks, the crystals, I really am having trouble.
Well, and this is a cool thing about Tucson. If you go out into the desert and you find a meteorite, and take it to the university, they would give you like $5,000 an ounce for that stone.
Okay, I'm into that.
Yeah,
now you made it interesting.
And more, they would give you more. But going out in the desert is a problem. So when I was down there, I met a guy who, on Monday, he would get on the back of a truck and drive for 8 hours on the back of the truck into the desert, him and about 5 other people. And they would drop him off and go back, and they come back Friday and pick him up into the desert. And I said, how can you stay out there that long? And he told me that there's so much stuff out there you could eat and drink, and it's not what you think it is. So his job was making a walk path, so that you can walk through. Yeah.
Well, someone's got to do it.
Yeah, well, it was kind of amazing to me.
Yeah, it's very...
Yeah, so how long have you been doing this show?
Almost 2 years.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you, yes. Episode 93, I believe.
93?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Who's counting, right?
What do you think about the times?
Oh, I think it's very exciting, to be honest with you. It's not what I would have wanted for the country, not what I would have bet on. But it's like when Nixon was the president, and he was really unqualified and shady, and like all the, now looking back on it, it's so exciting to Watergate.
No.
But Yeah, it's we'll see what happens.
Well, I think this just proves a point that this is America. It's a proud place to be, and the point is, any person, any last American, you can be poor, come up, and become president, or you can be rich and stupid and become president.
And yeah, anyone.
Anyone. It's the dynamics, and it should be like that. He should be president, and the craziness of it is that
it's so crazy. I'm reading the news all day long. It's like, ooh, what do you do now? It was though. We were talking this a couple of weeks ago after the election. It was bound to happen. A TV star getting elected.
Oh, that's what happened with Reagan.
Yeah, if it wasn't, but Reagan at least been the big governor for 8 years.
Yeah. Well, he had a TV show for what, 3? You're fired.
Yeah, you're fired. But even before that, he was in commercials. He was in WrestleMania. He was in a Pizza Hut commercial. Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous.
Wow.
He's been around Donald Trump has been around for a long time.
In the public eye.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's going to get into any public trouble.
Yeah.
It's too late. He's already done it.
Who knows what could happen?
Well, I want everybody out there to understand that America is an engine, a train. It's on a track and it's moving in one direction. Just because we change engineers doesn't mean we're going to derail, unless he takes it too fast. So it's going to be change. Some of it will be good, some of it will be bad, but we will notice it. That's the problem. And as Americans, we just live with it because, let me tell you a little story. I went to Egypt 3 years ago, and they were into the democratic process. They had elected 2 years before that their first Democratic president, and I was there for 1 year anniversary of them locking up their president.
Yeah.
So it doesn't work everywhere. This thing that we're doing, democracy, is not natural to governments, but yet we're doing it. I'm sitting here with this guy. We're talking about the process. There's nobody helicoptering in and, shutting us down. And we have freedom of speech, and I like that. As a comic, I really like that.
What if that's the other thing, is this election is going to be great for comedy and the media in general. Anyone who has an opinion about something has to fill a talk show or a newspaper column or a comedy routine, has something to talk about that everybody's interested in.
Yeah, well, myself, I get since the elections, I try to, sever myself from any kind of media, totally. I did that by losing my phone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Do you still not have one?
You know what? And that's the thing about this country. I put that out there, and there was a man who knew me as in passing, and he says, here's my iPhone 6S. And I went, thank you. And it was right out in the box. He never used it.
Huh.
Yeah. But that's what kind of people we are now, because we have to be. I had an idea. If you don't like Donald Trump, if you think Donald Trump shouldn't be in office, we have less than 60 days, but we can do this. He wants to make America better again. We just make America better. Each and every individual, hand out something to somebody, take in and embrace somebody, help somebody, donate your time, your money, and in less than 60 days, this country would be better. Hire somebody, and after it becomes better, right before he gets inaugurated. What? Right before he does that, we tell him, we did it, we don't need you. And maybe he'll go away.
Yeah.
It could happen.
That'd be cool. You know, you never know.
Never
these
know.
days.
Never know. So, what do you plan to do? I mean, do you hear people saying they want to leave the country?
Oh, no one's gonna do that.
I had a conversation.
If they couldn't get it together to vote, what makes you think they're gonna move to a whole other country?
But that was the conversation. The guy says, "I'm leaving this country now that Donald Trump's the president," and then he says, "Oh, I can't leave. I got a job."
Yeah, it's not realistic.
No, it's not. I mean,
it would be fun to move to another country for a different reason, though. Like you get a job, or
well,
you get stationed. And
I spent the first 3 months of this year in St. Martin, Caribbean, and I watched CNN, the political, debates and all that from there, and I was amazed by how that culture was, really embraced with what was going on here and how they felt about Donald Trump. My story that is kind of mirroring, it kind of reflects that is, like I said, I was out without a phone, and I was in the coffee bean the day after, and at 7 o'clock in the morning, and there were 10 white people in there and me. When I got to the cash register, I realized I didn't know who the president was. So I turned around to the people behind me and I said, "Who's the president?" And they all did like this, put their head down and said, "Donald Trump."
It was like a funeral.
Yeah, right. So I think our reactions are more so to the negative than the event.
Oh yeah, negative things are stronger, and there's more of them. Mm-hmm. So you notice them more.
Well, I think we should try to get to a positive.
Oh yeah, it's just, I don't know. I thought after the election, there was just this immediate, like, everyone went to bed optimistic and woke up cynical. And everyone's going to be cynical, and that's bad when too many people are cynical.
The crazy thing, this is, back to the events. Donald wasn't really a hero to the Afro-American community.
No, Omarosa. What about that?
I don't want to go there. But I left here. We do a lot of stuff here, and I left here Sunday, and I got off in Skid Row. I had to go somewhere downtown, and it was 7 o'clock at night, and I turned the corner, and on the corner was 3 black people, 1 woman, 2 men in their 40s, sitting around a 50-inch flat screen TV that was on the ground facing the sky. A beautiful picture. I don't know where they got the cable from. I couldn't see anywhere power, but they were sitting around. There was a talk show on. And they were sitting around that TV talking about how they were so glad that Donald Trump was president. They said, the woman was saying, Donald Trump has already released a lot of these companies to get back into this country and give jobs to the people. And he's supposed to, and I'm listening to her, he's supposed to increase Social Security, which hasn't been increased in 20 years. Now that's a statement that I'm personally involved with, that the elderly in this country hasn't had increase in their benefits in 20 years. 20 years ago, you could have bought a pack of gum for 25 cents. Today, it's $2 or so.
Gum costs $2?
Well, gum, you can buy gum for more. Oh, a bottle of water was $0.25 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But now, we have to drink water, but the elderly can't. I mean, and these people on Social Security, not, SSI, these people work for that money, and they should be entitled to live a comfortable end of their life off the benefits that they cashed in. So I'm glad to hear that. There's a lot of surprises coming out of this this Trump guy.
Yeah.
I hope they're all good.
Yeah. Who knows? He is funny though. He said that Hamilton was overrated. He heard it was overrated. That's pretty. I mean, why not throw that in? I bet it is overrated.
Well, who knows? It's
See?
up to him. You're
Yeah.
right. It's
How
up
did
to him.
Pence get tickets to that play? That thing is sold out 2 years in advance.
Oh man, but it's the best.
And he just got. Have you seen it?
You know what you can do if you're out there, pull it up on the internet. 60 Minutes.
Oh,
And
I
then-
saw that.
That was great though.
Yeah, it did look pretty good.
It gave you a lot of details about what that thing was.
I want to see it.
I want to see it too, but you got 2 years to wait.
No.
I think. I don't know. You can go and get. Do they have scalpers?
Yeah, but I'm sure it's hundreds. A play is so expensive to go to.
Man, yeah, man.
Plays could be $100 for a ticket.
It's worth it. I mean, the whole thing about Hamilton is the dynamics is rap. The background is all cultures. You know, they have somebody Afro-American playing some president. They have some Spanish guy playing some congressman. You know, and it's done so well. It's a unique piece of work, and if you're listening to me, you know, get us some tickets. We'd like to go.
We'll go together.
We'll go together, and we'll meet the people, and we'll bring them to you, and you can see what we're talking about. That's the dynamic America should be in. You know, it shouldn't be into cookie cutter type attitude, and that's the only thing. The only thing about what's going on with the president now is he's out the box. You know, it's kind of like that guy you knew in the neighborhood who was a nuclear physicist. He lost his job and started doing heroin. You don't know what he's going to do next.
Yeah.
You know, he got cured from heroin, but what is he going to do? Is he still a bad guy?
Some wires are crossed. Yeah.
But there's the influences. Now, have you heard? And I haven't been listening. Have you heard who he's appointed to cabinet positions?
Yeah. The ambassador to the UN is Nikki Haley, the governor of South Carolina, who's like a conservative lady. And her name is Nikki.
Oh.
Can you believe that? Like a professional woman is named Nikki. Not Nicole, Nikki, Nikki.
Well, you gotta blame her parents for that. But continue. I mean, but that's a woman.
Yeah. And then another lady too, who likes charter schools, is going to be the Secretary of Education.
Two. So
Yeah.
he's not anti-woman.
No, but these are two of like the lamest broads you could have
Oh, you
found.
know what? I heard he got Pell in there.
No, that was just a rumor. That would have been like they were all gonna come back though. It was like a reunion show. Yeah, Palin. It's like the Suicide Squad.
He's got
Giuliani might come back.
well, Giuliani is, you know, he's a real politician though.
Do you like him?
No, but he
I don't
is a
know
real
anything.
politician.
Yeah.
He's a real politician. I mean, anybody who can handle New York is, especially what he had 2 terms. 3
Yeah,
terms.
I mean-
he was in there. He knows what he's doing. But I think what's going on now is all about the money. You know, and I would think that he might say to China, "And we can't pay it. Forget about it. Forget about it. Hey, we're not paying it. Don't come here talking." And that might start the war.
China, though, has a lot of middle-class people now who could afford to buy some of the things that they make in China. They might not need the U.S. so much anymore.
Well, the U.S. needs the
I'm sure.
U.S. When I was a child, everything had made in USA.
Yeah,
And
better
that-
quality.
I mean, China was still in the marketplace, and it was better quality, and you didn't buy. I mean, I don't know where we went with that. I don't know. I don't remember the year. I mean, I'm 60 years old. I've seen riots, racism, economic depression, and I've seen us come out of it. You know, as an Afro-American, at this point in time, I'm really impressed with what happened with the United States, with all of us. But Made in America was a big thing when I was a child. And it worked because Americans made it. Now we're buying stuff that we don't even look at the label anymore. No offense to automotive dealers, but we used to make the best cars in the world.
But American cars were bad for a long time.
They weren't bad 60 years ago. They were big boats that sailed.
Yeah.
And then gas became a problem. And then the Japanese came in with little Toyotas and stuff. And it was a big battle in the marketplace. I remember I had a Mazda 626, and I went to a junkyard to get some parts because I didn't want to. And the woman said, "Why didn't you buy American?" She owned the scrapyard, and she says, "Get out of here," And that was the attitude there. Now, you can go anywhere and get anything, but we had a pride that's gone. We need to have a pride again, not because we're making America great again. It's because we are. We are great. We're 350 million people, and we got countries that are 1 billion people strong, looking at us and admiring us. I mean, all the downplay or all the things that are bad about this country is pointed out too much because there's too much greatness. I mean, when you can say that you're a woman with a name like that and be appointed to an office like that. Nikki. I mean,
Brittany.
We can joke about it, but she can get in there and do something.
That's true. She's a governor and ambassador. We're just sitting around here.
Guess what her life was when she was like in high school? Pull it out? Oh, okay. All right.
That's surprised me.
Yeah. Anyway.
Like trouble.
Can you hear me now? What I like though is see all these cars behind us?
Yeah, this is the Cerritos Auto Square.
Oh yeah, cool.
You ever heard of that?
No, where's it at?
It's in Cerritos. They have these radio commercials.
Oh.
Take 605 to South Street.
You think we're in danger of somebody turning and just running us over and doing a U-turn?
I don't think so.
I think I see a no U-turn. Oh, nope. I thought I seen a no U-turn sign.
You can make a U-turn from the left lane.
This guy right here, he looks suspicious. Oh, there he goes. He's gone.
Yeah, no.
All right. Well, I feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
Why is it so cloudy?
I think it had rained the day before.
You know what?
It was about to rain. It was raining that day. It was.
I came here 10 years ago. I got in LA 10 years ago from Chicago, Illinois. Small town in the Midwest for you people that don't know. We got a little lake there. I was here for 1 year. It didn't rain one day.
Yeah.
Are you from here?
Uh-huh. It rarely rains. What brought you from Chicago to LA at age 50?
That part of my life was done. I overcome some things, times. The thing about being young is you try to hang out with your friends, you want to have parties and you want to do things. You get a life, you get children, you wish you could do things. Your children grow up, they become successful, your personal life is kind of dissolved. And you find yourself saying, I have a second chance at something. And my second chance was comedy. And I happen to be one of the funniest comics in LA that you will never hear about. And you know how that works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of...
But it was time for me to pursue it from here.
Why'd you go to LA and not New York?
The weather.
Okay, makes sense, yeah.
I'm 50 years old at that point, and I says, I don't need to see any more snow.
Mm-hmm.
The coldest winter in Chicago, I was in my 30s, and I was doing stand-up comedy. And I was living 90 miles out of Chicago, so I went and did the show, which it was an audition. And that night, it blizzard. I had a hole in my floorboard, and I had enough gas not to get back to where I was going. So I had to spend the night to make money the next day working labor. But I spent the night in the car, and the windshield was like 60 below zero, and the drifts were 5 or 6 feet. And I slept in that car. Well, I couldn't run the engine because I would have got, carbon dioxide. Yeah, carbon.
It's asphyxiated.
But I would turn it on, and then I couldn't run it too much, even because I didn't have the gas. And I spent the night in the car, and that was my accomplishment. The next day, I got a job at Slim Jim in Chicago, the place that makes Slim Jims.
Oh.
Yeah. They make a lot of other things. My job was, so what I did was I bundled up, I put all my clothes on and sat in the car all night. Then I went to this place and they said, well, you're gonna be here. They took me in the basement and they had big tubs of hams. So what I had to do was stick this needle that injected salt into the ham. And I did that all day. And this one guy said, he came down there and says, so I pulled off all my clothes and it was down to the t-shirt. And he wanted to smoke a joint. He said, let's go into the freezer. So I looked at the temperature of the freezer, which was over here. It was the doorway was about big as this. And I looked at the temperature, it was 120 degrees below zero. And I went in there in my t-shirt and we smoked a joint. At the end of the day, the woman paid me. And upstairs was where they made Slim Jims. I went up there and ate Slim Jims. It was great.
Some munchies.
Just munchies. But at the end of the day, the woman came up to me and says, I've never seen anybody that worked in a refrigerator in a t-shirt all day long. She says, it's 33 degrees in here. And I didn't know that because I was outside
You had
all
been
night.
Recalibrated.
Yeah, I was climatized. But
how do they make Slim Jims?
The secret. I don't know if I can reveal that on live streaming.
Oh.
I mean,
really? All these years later, you're still held to some kind of non-disclosure?
It's the loyalty. There's something going to happen. See, you don't even know, but it's going to be like 30 years from now. It says, how did he get that background? And I was
okay. All right. All right. Keep the trade
secrets.
Trade secret. All right. Secrets. Fair enough.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
You don't have to answer. Mm-hmm. Why do you shave your head?
Oh, because I started losing my hair, and so
I have to do that every time somebody says they're losing their hair, because most of the time when the person wears a hat, they go, "Oh, he must be." Yeah, I've been wearing a hat since I was 20.
I like wearing a hat. It's come back in style a little bit. The thing about if you're bald and you wear a hat, though, if you have to dress up and wear a suit, you can't wear the baseball cap.
It's not, but see, you're stuck in baseball cap. You got to go to a hat store. Now, you people out there,
not everyone can pull off a big brimmed hat like that.
But see,
if you're under the age of 43, it's a tough look to pull off.
Well, see, when I was in my 30s, I wore a rebel hat.
What?
Gray renegade. It was, I called it a renegade hat. It was a Confederate gray hat.
Oh, okay.
With the leather thing.
Yeah.
It was suede right here.
Yeah.
And I wore that for the single purpose of being a renegade. I was against, society. And I came to LA. I was doing comedy. I was pretty much on my game. But they had this thing that stopped me that was called cocaine. But when I came to LA, I was in open mics, and I ran with the Waymans and Damon. Mm-hmm. He's seen me all the time. I've seen his family. There was a lot of people out here. I used to run Sinbad. Once a month, I would pick Sinbad up at the train station, and we'll run around all the open mics. And I had my renegade hat. But the cocaine out here was a lot better than the cocaine back in Chicago. So I couldn't take it, and I left, and I went back to Chicago, and I started raising my children. And I just kind of settled down. Well, I got shot too. That's a different story, but stay on this track. I turned on the TV about a year after I left here, and I seen Damon Wayne on a special, and he was wearing my hat. And I can't wear it no more. Because I didn't, people think, because he's already,
Yeah, that's too bad.
Right. But the one thing that I learned from that is that you can't quit. I mean, you can't let something run you down. You got to get over it, And that really helped me, that experience really helped me with the rest of my life. When I got shot, I was paralyzed, couldn't walk for almost 10 years. I was in a wheelchair for like a year. And I wanted to get back to comedy. And I knew from that experience, seeing him go through his thing and not stopping, that I could do the same thing. And that's how I wound up back here, because I came out the wheelchair, I started walking, I learned how to manipulate my body, and at the same time raise children. And they were done, I was done, it was time. So, hi, I'm here. This is one of the greatest things you're ever gonna see, and this is the beginning of it. So I really, and we really appreciate you being here.
Yeah. Which half of your life have you enjoyed more? Half in Chicago, you got shot, worked at the Slim Jim factory, or you're out here playing harp?
Well, there's a little bit I left out of this. I grew up in a war zone called Cabrini Green. I went to a school called Cooley High. They made a movie about it.
Yeah, Cooley High.
Yeah, they made a movie about it. I graduated second in my class, and an all-black high school, Cooley. When I graduated, they asked me to be in a movie they were going to be making, which was Cooley High. And I said, no way, I'm going to college. And I went to college, I got an engineering degree, and I was an electrical engineer for 8 years. I lived on a lakefront. I had an apartment with a fireplace in my early 20s and 30s. That was the best time. It was the 80s. I met a lot of women. I was single. It was great. And that was the best time,
So that was, yeah. So like the second eighth of your life was the best.
The first eighth, right? I mean, it was.
Well, the first eighth you would have been a child.
Okay, the second.
If you want to lump, I'm talking about like you're in your 20s and 30s.
Okay, yeah, 20s and early 30s. After early 30s, it became the second best. I mean, if you're planning to live a long life, you got to be on a path. This part of it is accumulation of all the past. I haven't lost my engineering skills, but I don't want to use them. I haven't lost my hoodwink skills, and every now and then I have to use them. I haven't lost my parenting skills because I still have children, And I have a grandson on the way. Thanks, kid. I'm glad you got getting it done. First grandkid, one of my twins. The other twin is in Mexico City, and he's getting calls from Disney, and he's being interviewed because he looks like the guy from Star Wars. He looks exact. When I went to see Star Wars, the last movie, I did like this. He didn't tell me he was in this movie.
But the other twin doesn't look like him?
No, they're not identical. The
They're
other
fraternal
twin is a
twins.
businessman. He's got people working for him, and he's living in Tucson. He's fairly happy, and you know, if you're out there and you're a parent, don't think so much about what you have to do. Think about just making the kid happy, because they'll grow up and they'll be happy, and it's, you know, all you can give them is everything you wanted to have when you was a child. And that's not possible, but you get close, and it's done. And they won't recognize it. What did you think about your parents?
They did a good job.
They did a good job?
Yeah, very supportive.
Did you feel the sacrifice?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, now, how old was your father when he had you?
Mid-30s, I'm guessing, 35 or so.
So, are you at that point where he had you?
No.
No. So, now that you're approaching it, do you feel what he might thought about being a dad? I mean, you're approaching 35. You know.
Well, not for a couple of years.
I know. No. But when you hit that point, you know, Dad was there.
Yeah.
This is what I wanted to give my children. I just wanted them to feel my pain. You know? It's not. Children are a change of life. Not so much a burden. It's a growth. It's like taking that skin off the caterpillar and having wings. But nobody sells it like that. We have to expand ourselves. And there's a lot of children out there that need parenting. I grew up as a foster child.
How was that?
Huh?
How was that?
The problem with me is that I remember the first beer I had, I was like 16 months. And my father, "Are you all right?" Just joking. I was at 16 months. Sorry about that. And my father would take me bowling with him. So he would sit me on the bar, and he would buy a pitcher of beer. He'd be a porter. I would sit up, and I would just fall
Yeah.
And foster home was between 18 months and 5 years. Back then, it was different. People, this was Afro-Americans accepting young Afro-American children. My brother was anemic. I was 18 months. He was about 12 months younger than me. This family took us in. They was in their mid-60s, late 70s, you know, the two people. And my brother needed treatments every day. And they catered like they was our parents. They would take him, and they tried to get me to learn how to read the Bible at 2, and they taught us place settings and stuff like that. And she got sick when I was about 3 and a half. And we went to another foster home that was crazy cool, because I don't know what these people did, still Afro-Americans. And they had a bunch of other foster kids in there, but they had loot. And I remember a couple of days before we went back home, we turned on the TV, and the woman that was the foster parent was on The Price is Right. Yes, and she won a refrigerator. It was The Price is Right or Let's Make a Deal, one of the two. But she won a refrigerator freezer full of food. So she came back, and we were like, wow, and then the freezer, they brought the freezer refrigerator full of food to the house. So the day it showed up, we were going back to the other foster house, which I didn't know at that time that it was a foster home. I thought it was my parents. But she says, "You want a pie?" Yeah. So she cooked the pie, pulled it out the oven, and my foster parents showed up. So she said, "Oh, you want to try the piece?" Yeah. So I'm going, oh. And that's my memory of that, burning in my mouth. Time went by. I was sitting with my foster father. He was laying on the couch, tears were coming out of his eyes. And I said, "Why are you crying?" I'm 5 years old. I said, "Why are you crying?" "I'm not crying, it's just water in my eyes." A few minutes later, there was a knock on the door. They opened the door. I looked at the door, and I said, "That's my daddy." I haven't seen him since I was 18 months, but I knew. And he took us to a tenement building on the south side of Chicago with roaches and rats in one room. And I found out I had a little brother and a little sister, and it was like, and that was the beginning of my normal life. And I went out with him to the bowling alley, and I drank a whole glass of beer, and I came home and threw up. And I never drank beer for another 18 years. So yeah, it was a good experience for me, foster home, because it was better than it was better than my real life.
Yeah.
But now you don't get that. You can get locked in a closet.
Yeah, you always hear bad things about foster homes nowadays.
There are people out there, and they're responsible. They do it.
Yeah.
So that's my story. But you lived a good life, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
I like this part. You want to get some barbecue?
Yeah, let's go get some barbecue.
All right. Well, cool. Hey, y'all stay up and.
Cool. We'll get some barbecue. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you to Eddie Whitehead Jr. Till next time, this is Adam Papagan reminding you that there's a place you can go, and it's your mind. Good night.
Thank you for having me on your show, man.
Thank you very much.